Hey guys, it's Sagar, and here's my first impression about the POCO F3 GT. I know I'm already late with this video, but it wasn't my fault. I had pre-ordered this POCO F3 GT on 24th, but for some reason, Flipkart took around 10 days to deliver it to me. By now, I'm sure you guys must have watched countless unboxing videos about this phone, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing that. Let me make two things clear. First, this is not a review. These are just my initial impressions after having this phone for just a day. And second, yes, this phone is available as the Redmi K40 Gaming in some countries. But in India, Xiaomi has launched it under the POCO brand. For those of you who still don't know what comes in the box, once you open the box, you get the phone itself, some paperwork, a transparent TPU case, SIM tray removal pin, a USB Type-C to 3.5mm audio port adapter, a yellow USB Type-A to Type-C cable with an angled port, and a 67-watt charger. I went with the Predator black color with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. As you remove the protective plastic and the IMEI stickers on the back, you can straight away tell that this phone feels very premium. A part of a reason for that is the metal frame that runs around the phone along with the Gorilla Glass 5 at the front and back. Both colors of this phone look very good, but it has been some time since I have used a black colored phone, so I went with the Predator black color. I also have the Mi 11X and the Nord 2, which also come in the similar price segment as the POCO F3 GT. But out of the three, POCO F3 is definitely the smartest looking one. It has those gaming phone vibes going for it. With a 6.7-inch display, this is a big phone, and because it uses metal and glass and comes with a mammoth battery, it weighs 205 grams, which is pretty heavy. Looking around the device, at the top there is an IR blaster, a secondary noise cancelling microphone and a speaker grill for the secondary speaker. On the left side, there are volume up and down buttons, and we also get a third microphone here, which is interesting. At the bottom, there is a speaker grill, USB Type-C port for charging and data transfer, a microphone and a SIM tray. This SIM tray can only hold 2 nano SIM cards, and you don't get the microSD card slot, so there is no option to expand the storage of this phone later on. On the right side, we have the power button and the fingerprint sensor under it. On this side, we also get a couple of physical triggers for gaming, and these can actually come out or retract into the phone's body if you move these switches. These are magnetic, and adding these triggers to this phone is a very nice touch. As I mentioned before, there is a metal frame around the device, and it changes shape and texture as it runs around various parts of the phone. We get a frosted matte glass back with a silky smooth texture. This triple camera module has RGB glow light around it, and the flash on this phone is actually shaped like a flash. Like the Mi 11X, this POCO F3 GT also gets IP53 dust and splash resistance rating, so you don't have to worry about the phone getting wet in some light rain. Before we get to the display, internals and other things, if you are new to this channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. I am trying to get this channel to 200k subscribers by the end of this year, and I need your support to get there. At the front, it gets a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels. It's a 10-bit panel with HDR10+ support, has 120Hz refresh rate and a staggering 480Hz touch sampling rate. It gets the Gorilla Glass 5 protection. Not all AMOLED panels are created equally, but this is one of the good ones. Colors seem accurate, it gets ample bright in these artificial lighting conditions, and the viewing angles are excellent. I will have to use it in some more lighting conditions and compare it with a few other phones to see how it performs then. But on its own, it is looking pretty good. For the inside, POCO went with the MediaTek Dimensity 1200 processor this time. This is MediaTek's flagship processor, and it is the same one that we saw on the OnePlus Nord 2. It is coupled with Mali G77 GPU, 6 or 8GB of LPDDR4X RAM, and 128 or 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage. And it packs in a mammoth 5065 mAh battery which supports 67-watt fast charging. POCO calls it a 5G phone, and it is, but it again comes with just 2 5G bands, so we don't know how its 5G network reception will be once the 5G networks roll out in India. The haptics on this phone are very good. It gets dual speakers for stereo sound and has Dolby Atmos along with high-res audio certification both for wired and wireless audio. I'm not much of a gamer, but with these internals and the Maglev Triggers, I'm looking forward to doing some gaming on this POCO F3 GT. Software-wise, it comes with MIUI 12.5.2 out of the box, which is built on Android 11. Many of the bugs that we saw in the earlier days of the MIUI 12.5 seems to have been ironed off. Since it's a POCO device, you should not see any ads on this phone. But out of the box, there is a lot of bloatware that is pre-installed here. Thankfully, you can remove some apps like Facebook or LinkedIn if you don't want to use them, but the apps like Get Apps can't be removed, since according to Xiaomi, it's an integral part of their phones and business. Overall, phone feels very fast and snappy. Not just with the apps, but even the user interface is much snappier. And I really like this AMOLED panel. It gets punchy enough and feels really premium. Coming to the cameras, there is a triple camera setup at the back. The main camera gets a 64 megapixel sensor with f1.7 aperture and 26mm lens. Then there is an 8 megapixel sensor with f2.2 aperture and an ultra wide angle lens. And finally, there is a 2 megapixel macro camera with f2.4 aperture. I think POCO should have included the 5 megapixel macro camera that we have been seeing on the Redmi Note 10 Pro and the Mi 11X, because that sensor could take incredible macro shots. Now, I haven't used the camera on this phone yet, but you guys know me, so you know that a very detailed camera review of this phone is coming up in the next few days. Not only that, I will also be working on comparing its cameras with the OnePlus Nord and the Mi 11X, so make sure you have the notifications turned on, as there are going to be a lot of amazing videos coming up in the next few days and weeks. It seems like POCO again wanted to make a dent in the Indian smartphone industry with their F-series phone, so they seem to have packed in as many things as they can in this phone. And with these triggers and a very bold design, this phone is going to attract a lot of people who are interested in gaming. Now, I haven't used this phone for a very long time, and this is just my initial impressions video, so I can't really dive too deep into its gaming or everyday performance, or even tell you how long the battery lasts on a single charge. Very soon, I will be coming up with a full review of this phone, where I will talk in much more detail about these things. Until then, all I can tell you is, this phone packs in most of the cutting edge specs that you might expect a 30,000 rupees phone to come with. I'm super excited to game on it and use these gaming triggers, and I really like the clicky sound they make when they come out. The POCO F3 GT is easily the best design phone in this price range, and thanks to the build materials, it looks and feels premium as well. But that also makes this phone a lot heavier, so you will need a few days to get used to the weight. If you are still using the POCO F1, this would be the perfect upgrade that you might have been waiting for. That is it for this quick first impressions video about the POCO F3 GT. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.